get started. Your cell phones off, please. Thank you.
Yes, Ms.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Masuku, we are now at page 14 of your statement. And we had dealt with the warning statements. You have marked NMP 5, Roman 1 to NMP 5, Roman 9, together with the death certificate of Constable Koza, which you've marked NPM 5, Roman 10.
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner.
You then start you have a sub-chapter there. Before you deal with it, Commissioners, at paragraph 52, this is the statement of Brigadier James Konazi that the witness deals with specifically. There is an error at line 1. It's NPM 6, at NPM 5, not NPM 6. If you could just effect that correction. Thank you. Ms. Masuku, you then specifically then deal with the statement of Brigadier Mkwanazi, starting at paragraph 52, at page 14, if you could then deal with that statement.
Commissioners, I will read because Brigadier Mkwanazi was before the commissioners. He testified on this matter. So I will read the version that he gave to me.
Before you do so, may I invite you to the actual annexure NPM 5, Roman 6. You omit to indicate the date on which that statement was taken in your statement. So if you could just place it on record before you deal with its contents. That would start at your annexures, page 76. NPM 5, Roman 6.
Yes, Commissioners, I'm there.
The date I have then there's another correction then to be effected at line 1. The correct annexure is NPM 5, Roman 5, not Roman 6. They both say 6. So it's 5, Roman 5. That statement starts in your annexure bundle at page 76. You've located it.
Yes, I'm there, Commissioners.
And for the purpose of the date on which it was taken, I would like to refer you to page 81. If you could just place that date on record, then you can deal with the contents of the statement, as you do from your paragraph 52.
It was taken on the 24th of May, 2023. And he stated that he was going to give the statement on the 2nd of June.
On the 2nd of June?
Yes, Commissioner.
And the actual statements that he provides as a handwritten is that the handwritten statement at page 91, starting at 91 to 92? Is that the actual statement of
That's the
Brigadier
statement
Mkwanazi?
that he gave. That's
Okay.
correct, Commissioners.
That particular statement at 91 onto 92 is undated. It's signed and seems to bear a number, perhaps his police number. Doesn't have a name, he just signed.
That's Commissioners. That's his number on the servers, his pay number. They call it like that.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Then let's go back to your statement from paragraph 52, where you deal with the contents of this particular statement.
The statement of Brigadier James Konazi. Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi states in his warning statement, Commissioner, I think it will be corrected as well because it says annexure NP6.
Yes, we have already corrected that. It
Okay.
should read NPM 6, NPM 5, Roman 5. If you could just make those changes then.
Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi states in his warning statement, annexure NPM 5, Roman figure 5, that Roman figure 6, that he was woken up by Yako at approximately 2 in the morning, asking him to come and see the success of the recovery of the truck in Brakpan area. He stated that he eventually arrived at the scene and saw several vehicles, marked and unmarked, including those of private persons. Yako collected him from the vehicle, where after he showed him the white truck and told him that everything was under control. Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi stated that he told Yako that he was frustrated because they were standing next to about 9 white males. Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi alleged that he then shouted at Yako as he had woken him up and invited him to a crime scene which was not an EMPD operation. Julius claims he then stood outside the gate for a few minutes with intention to leave, but he suspected that the unknown white males inside the yard wanted to move items outside of the truck. Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi further alleges that he then moved towards the next street where he parked. Yako followed him and informed him all was in order. He then left as he was working the next day.
I think that's the end of your actual quotations from Brigadier J. Mkhwanazi's statement.
That's correct, Commissioners.
That's
You,
so,
sorry. Go on.
Indeed. I was saying that's the summary of what you have attached as NPM 5, Roman 5. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioners.
You said you did not take the other statements, so that would include Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi's statement. You said you did not take the others because you had taken Mr. van der Merwe's statement. Did I understand you correctly?
Can you rephrase, Commissioner? I'm not getting the question.
I thought you said that these other statements that you've just referred us to, that even before tea, you said you did not take those. Your colleagues, or I don't know who took them, but other people took those other statements, not you. Did I understand you correctly?
That's correct, Commissioners,
Yes,
but
yes.
in that, I was meaning, Commissioners, to say I'm not the one who was writing the warning forms,
Yes.
but it doesn't mean that I didn't interview these suspects.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Even on this Julius Mkhwanazi statements, he wrote it himself and just gave us a handwritten statement to say, here is the statement.
Okay. I'm asking because there's this sentence that sounds a bit odd. It says Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi stated that he told Yako that he was frustrated because they were standing next to about 9 white males. I just wanted to understand what was frustrating with that. But why I prefaced this by saying that you had not taken the statement, I prefaced it that way because I thought you would not be able to explain that rather odd statement.
Commissioner, I won't be able to explain maybe what you, maybe the clarity that you need to get, but maybe in this manner, he says he was frustrated because there was a lot of other officers there or people there. So according to him, why was he called to come there? So when he's saying to those plus minus white males, because Yako was also a white male, so there were a lot of them, they were there. But I understand what the commissioner is asking because it can mean a lot as to why specifically white males. Commissioner, I think...
Ms. Masuku, perhaps it might assist you if you go to the actual statement and locate that part in Brigadier Mkwanazi's statement where he speaks of the 9 white males. His statement starts at page 91 of that annexure bundle.
And the part about the plus minus 9 white males is the very last paragraph at page 91 of his own statement now.
Okay. Have you located the statement?
Yes.
And the chair assists you by referring you specifically to the last paragraph of page 91. Can you just quickly read that paragraph as you are able to, because to the extent that it's legible?
Okay. I got frustrated and called him aside because we're standing next to plus minus 9 white males next to the gate. I must mention that I shouted at him for waking me up for other law enforcement operation, which was not EMPD.
Please finish the sentence.
And to tell me everything was sorted. We stood outside the gate for minutes. Then I started to move towards my vehicle, but I suspected that they wanted to take stuff from the truck.
Well, you are almost at the end of the statement. I guess you might as well read the final paragraph there.
I drove towards the next streets where he noticed that I am still there parked. He came with his car and informed me that everything is in order. I then left because I was working the same day.
That's the end of Brigadier Mkwanazi's statement.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Masuku, you've summarized this statement then from your paragraphs 52 to 54. At 56, you deal with a slightly different issue, and this relates to the delays in obtaining the witness statements. If you could take your testimony from paragraph 56.
The investigation process of obtaining the warning statements experienced a lot of delays. This was because Marius kept on warning the team that his co-suspects are very dangerous people. As an investigator, I had to think of Maria's safety every time we make a move towards other mentioned suspects. Threat analysis assessments were conducted on the team as well. These assessments resulted in protection being offered by the department to those team members engaged in investigation. The members were provided with protection services from March 2023 until 11th of July 2024. Commissioners, I think, omitted to mention when did it started in my statement. I only wrote when it was terminated. But the protection has started in March 2023.
You actually do in the next sentence after you introduce NPM 6.
All right. When the service was terminated by Mr. Kiefalakai, a copy of the termination letter attached as Annexure NPM 6.
And for your purposes, NPM 6 is at page 142 of your annexure bundle. If you could open that. (142).
Yes, Commissioner Samde.
Then I suggest you complete the rest of paragraph 56, and then we'll deal with the contents of the annexure itself. Thank you.
We were under protection for a period of 16 months. from 10 March 2023 to 15 July 2024. During this period, we couldn't pursue our investigation as vigorously as we would have preferred. Marius refused to be placed under protection, preferring rather to rely on the services of his own security company.
Going then to page 142, which is actually the termination letter by Mr. Kifelakai of the protection services that had been provided to you from the 10th of March. Are you able to briefly indicate to the commissioners the circumstances that pertained at the time that led to you being placed under protection?
Yes, commissioners. When we started the investigation by now, following on these other suspects, our first warning statement was from the 17th of February 2023. Immediately after we had approached the first suspects that was on the list after Marius, then there were threats that were coming towards us. I will not say to point and say they were coming from them, but there were threats that I had to inform the department to say I was not feeling safe, as well as the team. For a number of things that were happening that were unusual. Then the department ran their own investigation that didn't include us, because it was done. We will be called for interviews every now and then. There will be visits our home, investigators from other departments. But it was done very quickly because the threats were escalating. Then we were protected. We felt a bit at ease, but still, it was not easy because the protection, they were not moving around with us. But we had to continue working. In the meantime, when we're working, I will communicate with Marius because it's not all of us who are communicating with him, avoiding what he has warned us that I cannot mention here when he was giving us statements. Then we have our own way of communicating with him that we had agreed on. He kept on telling us, when we make a move, we won't tell him that now we're making the next move to so and so, we won't notify him. But definitely he will come back to us and say, slow down. Your lives are at risk. Then we will listen to him because he has warned us to say, who are we dealing with? Commissioners, it won't be a period that I will say, if you want me this week on Thursday and then on Monday I must start afresh. I won't do that. I will wait for a bit to cool down and focus on other matters. Leave this one so that I can get it off everyone's mind. Then when it's quiet, then we will go for the next one. That is the reason these warning statements, they took time. And really, our lives, they were at risk. I won't say it was who on these cases, but what I know is we were having threats towards our lives. Because when I remember, we are in 2026 now. December of 2024,
Please continue. Please continue, Ms. Masuku.
thank you, Commissioners. December of 2024, my vehicle was short-edged. And I was driving on N17 in Springs area with my family, the kids. I'm not saying it's them, but those are the threats that were coming towards us. So we had to work, take a break, concentrate on something else. The reason I won't say it's only them. I'm saying this because this is not the only sensitive case that I'm dealing with. It's a lot of them. And it's rare whereby there will be a sensitive case like murder against law enforcers. There won't be threat coming to your side because they will know what's coming when you're busy with your investigation. But we soldier on, we continue. It's just that South Africa will never understand what you go through.
Ms. Masuku, if then we could go to an extra NPM 6 at page 142, there is a list of IPID investigators there. Firstly, could you read them out? This is the letter terminating their protection services.
Okay, the members that were involved in this investigation and that were put under protection, it was Mr. Tulani Makakula, Mr. Tulani Dlamini, and Ms. Nomsa Masuku.
And the last one, of course, is yourself.
That's myself, yes.
Earlier, you testified that they were not moving around with you, the security.
That's
what you
correct,
stated.
Commissioners.
And I note from this particular document, this letter from Mr. Kifelakai terminating the services, paragraph 1 reads, this letter serves to inform Bidvest Protea Coin of the termination of the guarding services at the places of residence of IPID investigators currently guarded by the company. You see that?
Yes.
So am I correct to understand that the services were only provided to your respective homes?
Yes, that's correct,
Not as you were carrying out your daily duties?
Yes. It was carried at our home and it was worth it. Yes, it was.
Okay. You then, let's go to your paragraph 57 and we pick it up from there.
This has been one of the difficult matters to solve for a number of reasons. Firstly, the police involvement had to be proven as unlawful, as there were no official leads at the accounting police station to prove that the officers carried their duties on the day, as alleged by Marius van der Merwe. Secondly, the investigators were under continuous serious threats throughout the course of investigation. I personally am a victim of such threats being carried out.
Can I find out from you, you reference an instance, I think you said it was in December 24, when your vehicle was fired at on the N17 next to Springs. Are there any other noteworthy incidents that you'd like to bring to the Commissioner's attention? If you can't, please don't.
Mr. Law, let's take a break. You'll indicate to us when we should come back.
Absolutely. Thank you.